Somewhere in India right now, someone buys a bag of tomatoes from a roadside cart. He doesn't pay any cash, he doesn't do a check transfer, but instead he just takes out his phone, scans it and pays. No cash transaction, no fees of transaction is involved. While today this is happening almost everywhere in India, there is something which is not good in Washington. Two of the most financial powerful companies on earth have spent years trying to slow the same process. Visa, 60 years old, hundreds of billions of transactions every single year. Mastercard, as same as Visa. Neither they have lost a country that they have entered, but they are starting to decline their transactions in India. America tried this, but still it is not succeeded. It is still missing at least 1 of 5 households. Europe also tried, but they failed because to just make this come true, they need to pass a law, and where all the 23 plus countries should sit together and try to make a law, and henceforth it failed. And while we are speaking about Americas and Europes, we should take a word on China too. China did it. Yes, China achieved it. But China did one single mistake. It was just having 2 apps which united all the payments, but they have locked it in their own country. Yes, this was not given to any other country. They didn't transact with any other countries. It was just China having its own payment interface inside itself. There's a name for this, which almost competed with almost all these, but still succeeded in a huge margin, and it is called UPI, Unified Payments Interface. 700 plus banks, 600 million transactions a day, $3 trillion moved just last year.
Witness the power of Digital India, processing over 600 million UPI transactions every single day, revolutionizing global payments.
But how much is the cost to you? In the sense, in transaction fees, it is zero. Visa took years to build the same network and made a fortune. But India didn't make a fortune, but it gave the idea to others. Here's how it started. It's the year 2014. A government body asked almost every major bank to unite its payments, to connect their systems and charge nothing in terms of transaction fees. It was the only way almost contributed to the profits of every bank. At that time, when this scheme was being proposed to almost all the banks, the meeting should have been over. But something happened later. 2012, Nandan Nilekani, the man behind India's billion-person ID system, so-called Aadhaar card, is asked to design what comes next to India that makes India to stand apart from the competition. His answer was simple: build a system where no fees is being collected. April 11th, 2016. 21 banks switched this on. It was a quiet launch with no big event. For 7 long months, not even a single transaction was made. Then November 8th, 2016 happened. 86% of the India's cash stops being legal.
8 नवंबर 2016 की रात्रि को 12 बजे से वर्तमान में जारी 500 रुपए और 1000 रुपए के करेंसी नोट लीगल टेंडर नहीं रहते.
The queues outside banks were stopped. The daily wage laborers handing cash bundles were almost worthless. The empty app, which stood in the market for 7 months, became the only way transactions could be done. I want you to watch the number closely. 2.9 million transactions. 72 million. It was just after 6 months later. It was 900% growth by the next coming year itself. Here's what nobody tells you. They say UPI is completely free. There is no transaction involved. But it's not free. The RBI governor said this last year. There are costs involved in this, but somebody has to bear them. Right now, that somebody is government itself. NPCI, the company moving $3 trillion a year, survives on a surplus of 1,500 crores a year. smaller than one mid-sized small bank's annual profit. Meanwhile, on the other side, two apps were ruling UPI. PhonePe and Google Pay. They literally control 85% of the entire UPI transactions. In the year 2022, India gives RuPay a separate VIP line on UPI, which Visa and Mastercard never got. RuPay's debit share right now is literally 2/3 of all new cards. Then in 2022, during the Russian-Ukraine war, Russia was cut off from SWIFT. If you want more detailed video on what is SWIFT payments, do tell it down in the comments. I will definitely make a new video on it. Russia was literally cut off from the SWIFT interface, the Visa card interface, even the Mastercard interface. So Russia was isolated with not even a payment interface of its own. And at that time, something happened with India. India's national security advisor was already in Moscow. Taking RuPay international. Now, Unified Payment Interface, so-called UPI, runs in 8 countries. From Bhutan to France, Cambodia joined last year. Cross-border value touched 19.7 crore rupees in 2024. 330 crore rupees this year. No one or no country wants to singly depend on United States for its payment interface, defense or anything. They want an alternative which they can switch at crisis. And that maybe UPI is going to provide in the near future. Now, after evaluating this entire unified payment interface, I mean UPI's case study, what are the 3 takeaways that we can get from this? Let us break this one by one. One for business, one for economics, and one for geopolitics. So without any time waste, let's get into the 3 takeaways from this episode. Takeaway number 1 for business. Public infrastructure beats private products when trust is actually the bottleneck. NPCI built a free road instead of a toll booth on it. And from that, monopoly payment giants couldn't even recover till today. They are literally suffocated and couldn't even imagine how to enter into the Indian markets back. Yes, they are still there in the Indian markets, but their share in India is quietly declining day by day and year by year. And this is not at all a good news for Visa or even Mastercard. So, public infrastructure can literally beat private infrastructure or private companies when the trust is the bottleneck. Takeaway number 2, economy. Free never means costless. It just means somebody else is paying for it. NPCI runs almost $3 trillion of transactions every single year in India. And literally the government is paying for our transactions. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember one thing. When there is something so-called as a word called free, it is never free. It is just you are not paying for it, but somebody else is paying for it for you so that you can get it for free. Takeaway number 3, geopolitics. Trust is the real export, not the technology. While Visa and Mastercard focused on profit making, UPI never thought of profit motive. It only thought the best service that it could give to its customers. And that's the reason today they are already entered huge international markets apart from India. And they have been accepted as one of the most trusted payment interface all across the countries which have been using UPI. Now countries like France have shifted their citizens from using Visa and Mastercard slightly towards UPI. Maybe, who knows, one day RuPay and UPI could be even bigger than Visa and Mastercard. So I hope you learned something valuable from this episode. If you have learned something valuable, so go hit that like button. And for more such insightful and valuable world-class case studies, go subscribe to our channel, guys, and hit the notification bell, because it took a lot of time in post-production and pre-production making so much of content for you. So just subscribe is free for you, but it means a lot to this YouTube Baba. And thank you for watching. That's it from my side for today, guys. Meet you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.